All right, what's up, traders? Welcome to the official Trade Talk channel where I show you how I analyze price for the most consistent and higher probable entries to help you guys become better traders. So, what happened on Bitcoin? Let's go over this technically first, and then we'll talk about some other news that seems to be currently happening. Saturday's video, if you watched it, then you know that even though I am bullish on the asset because the asset is bullish, there was weekly bearish divergence put in. As you can see here, from this point, which is that weekly high, that close, to this area there is clearly lower. I did warn you that even though we did get a nice breakout up here and we have been trading sideways, there could be a little bit of pullback based on the weekly divergence. Now, there's something else that happened. When we had this confirmed daily breakout, and daily breakouts occur when you have daily closes above daily resistance levels. As you can see, if I do the same thing over here, we can see that this close also put in some bearish div on the daily. So now technically you have bearish div on the weekly and bearish div on the daily, as you can see right there. So two things of bearish divergence. Looks like it's causing Bitcoin to pull back, and it's not just pulling back. It literally has made this bullish breakout candle a bull trap. Now, with that being said, we do have some daily support coming up here, but if you look on the weekly, there's really nothing to stop it all the way down to 29,255. Now, why is it selling off instead of, going higher based on the breakout? I would assume that it is simply based on this right here. Update, a reminder that DCG is functionally insolvent. Who is DCG? Well, this is DCG. Digital Currency Group is their name. We build, buy, and invest in Bitcoin and blockchain companies. Parent company of Grayscale, Genesis Trading, CoinDesk, Foundry Services, Luno Global, and Trade Block. So since basically they were invested in FTX more than they should have been, and now they seem to be insolvent. And let me see here, back over on this guy who literally broke this out, you can see this right here is a letter from Cameron Winklevoss. It appears that Cameron Winklevoss is suing the company. They're going to file a lawsuit against DCG. So this lawsuit will be filed on July 7th. That is 2 days from this recording, and will, amongst other things, outline your personal liability in hiding Genesis insolvency and provide a blueprint for 232,000 earn users to commerce similar actions against you and DCG. This is just all the stuff that they're going to, you can go and read it yourself, but this seems to be why Bitcoin is indeed selling off. Here is your weekly. You had a nice open, and then boom, it is dropping, and it is dropping pretty rapidly. So if you look at it like this, it's not a complete and total annihilation of price. In fact, you haven't even hit the oversold regions on the 4-hour time frame, but you have hit oversold regions on the 1-hour time frame. So what can we do moving on from here? Well, Grayscale is owned by them. So if they have to sell off the Bitcoin that Grayscale owns, that will cause a massive decline in Bitcoin's prices. I'm not exactly sure how much Bitcoin they own. Let's see if we can find out real quick.
A few moments later.
So here we go. It looks like Grayscale Bitcoin Trust owns 636,696 Bitcoins. That's a lot of money. Now, no one's saying, I am not saying that that Grayscale will have to liquidate all of their Bitcoin, but this is news, and it is bad news, and bad news seems to be affecting Bitcoin's price chart. Now, if we go over here to the dollar, you can see that the dollar is having a nice day of rolling over after it got up here and tested resistance area. After we tested the yearly opening range, we dropped. This is what we expected. This happened on Friday. And then for the last 3 days, you've kind of been just basically trading up here. This level right here is a weekly supply zone or a weekly Heath level. As you can see, this week didn't quite get there. That last week got up there and reversed. Now, currently, this is what we're doing. So it looks like on Wednesday, the DXY may be putting in a high of the week. I did indeed take a long on Euro USD at this area. So the first entry long on this was here. After we tested this Q1 2023 That is the close of Q1. We tested that and then bounced back down, made a lower low. That is when I took my long entry. On today's range, if we go into the 4-hour time frame, you can see here that basically as it was pulling down here, we had this explosion up, and then on this 4-hour candle, as it pushed down to 4-hour resistance, let me just put this up right here. You can see how that wick tagged it to perfection. I bought it with a bigger position. So essentially that made my cost basis go from this entry all the way up to right under the wick of that candle, because I went in, 3 times as much as I was holding, because on this day I took 2/3 of the position off. And when this pulled back here, I just essentially went right back in with a full size position. Now, obviously I've taken profits again because I got my move right up to 4-hour resistance, which is right there. So that is typically how you trade the range. This is what makes me successful. It's simply trading inside of those ranges, not looking for breakouts or breakdowns when I take long or short trades. I am simply just trading the high probable areas. So here it is. At this point, I'll take profits from my stop to break even. So if the dollar does eventually find support and then continue higher, this will come down, stop me out. Now, on the longer term, you can see here that we're kind of in an area of longer term resistance. This is Q3 2023's open. This is Q1 2023's close. And up here is monthly resistance. And as you can see, price basically went up there, came right back down here, and has been making a wedging formation. So this is Forex, has nothing to do with Bitcoin. But basically what we want to see is we want to see this break out of this wedging formation and then continue up to make fresh yearly highs. That is what I want to see. That does not mean that will happen. Technically, it looks good. You can see here on the 4-hour time frame, you're finding a little bit of resistance here. So this is my thing. If we break down below Q1 2023, that close, then there is a really good chance that we may, after a pullback, go back and down and test the 2023 yearly opening range, which would not be good because that would mean the dollar is moving higher. And if Bitcoin is to go higher, we need the dollar to go lower. That's not the only thing that's going to help Bitcoin, because even on a day when the DXY is down 0.06%, which was much lower at one point today, you can see here on this area right there, this candle right here, it was lower on the day. So even though on the daily, you can see the dollar is down, Bitcoin is coming off rapidly. This is typically when we want to see Bitcoin go up, whenever we see dollar weakness, but that just doesn't seem to be happening. So it could be that stuff that we just read over about that company, DCG. If this isn't the reason you think Bitcoin is selling off, tell me down in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you guys trade safe, trade smart, and as always, happy trading, everybody.